often talk about how lucky I am about where I live, you know, and your bucket list and stuff like that. I never lose sight of that. It's important. I had to run down to Trader Joe's. I don't go to Trader Joe's very often, mind you, but I had to run down there to pick up something for something I'm making. And you know, this is my neighborhood. And by the way, all this along here, this section along here, this used to be the Brown Derby. All that's left is this one part of the facade here that was actually called Ham and Egg or something like that. But anyway, that used to be where the Brown Derby Hollywood was. But again, I had to run down to the store, and in my walking from my apartment down to the store, I'm walking past. You know, this is the corner of Hollywood and Vine, and all these other people are tourists and people like that walking around here, and so they're coming back. So it's just kind of neat to always remind myself how lucky I am that I live in a place that other people want to come to, and we'll be coming back to. So welcome back. Please come back. So as I'm heading home from running over to Trader Joe's, there's nobody around for a second, so I'm going to take this off. As I'm heading home from Trader Joe's, picking up some stuff, and I always, you know, I always talk about this little voice or whatever the fuck it is, and that's where a lot of these videos come from. This thing that just says do this, do that, and I thought, well, this is really cool because of where I am, and I haven't talked about this, and it just gives me as people are coming back. Here at Ivar, right here at Ivar, Scientology owns these two buildings right here, by the way. Scientology owns a lot of Los Angeles. But also, and again, this is my own neighborhood, and I'm walking home. There's the Knickerbocker. Now, the Knickerbocker is an incredible hotel, built in the late 20s. Now it's a retirement home, basically for Russians and Armenians. A lot of them are Russians and Armenians. Not only, but there's a lot of them that are Russians and Armenians. And it's got it's got a hell of a history. So just from standing here, this is one of those, just from where I'm standing kind of things. So where I am here is this. First of all, there's the Hollywood sign way off in the distance up there. Okay, so the Knickerbocker. Now, the Knickerbocker is where, in 1966, William Frawley, Fred Mertz, he used to live here. He had lived at the El Royale, for a long time, and he moved out about 4 months earlier, and he moved into here, but he had a heart attack right here at the corner. He had just gone to see the movie Inside Daisy Clover, and he got to that corner right there, and he had a heart attack. The lobby here is where D.W. Griffith died of a heart attack, brain hemorrhage, I believe it was actually. So there's that. This is where, my God, Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe had some dates here. Mrs. Houdini had the up on the roof. Harry Houdini's wife, she had the final seance on like the 10th anniversary of his death on the roof of this place. A couple of my, I say favorite stories, and I don't mean favorite stories because favorite stories implies that I like it, and some of them are not good. But a couple of my interesting ones. Irene Gibbons, who went by the fashion name of Irene, she designed her for a number of films and did a lot of stuff. She was related to Cedric Gibbons, who designed the Academy Award. Anyway, she was despondent over the fact that Gary Cooper had passed away, and she was up there in that room right there, and she got depressed, and she slashed her wrists and didn't die fast enough, so she jumped out that window right there and landed on top of that, and that's where they found her, and she died, obviously, and that's why. Interestingly enough, that's why those windows, those are all bathrooms, and they're halfway bricked up, so nobody will ever do that. So if you want to come here and kill yourself by jumping out a bathroom window, pick one of these other buildings, other windows here, because it's easier, obviously. There's that. Other little stories about this joint. This is where, in 1968, Mama Cass Elliot brought David Crosby here, picked up David Crosby here, he was staying here. She picked up David Crosby here, that's what it was, to go see Graham Nash and Stephen Stills, to meet them. And they ended up starting some sort of a band of some type that I happened to see in concert, but that was really amazing. Anyway, but this is the Knickerbocker, and they say it's haunted, it's all kinds of things. It's an interesting little place. And again, it's in the neighborhood of where I live. I mean, so, yeah, so this is where I live. So, since I'm making this video, and this is rather impromptu, I got people coming up here. But one more thing about where I am. See the Capitol Records building. See Capitol Records building off there in the distance. Now the deal with Capitol Records is, well, first of all, it's Capitol Records building. So that's important enough all by itself. But where we are right now, if you ever watched the film, an incredible film. If you ever watched the film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Tarantino film. Oh, this is kind of cool. It's cool and it's kind of creepy and it's all kinds of things. Anyway, so if you watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, there is the scene where that Brad Pitt guy, he picks up, what's her name, that cat girl. I've only seen the movie once, and in all honesty, I don't remember much of it because I spent all of the movie looking at the background. So I have to watch it again, and I haven't gotten around to that. Anyway, supposedly this scene where he picks her up and stuff like that was at the, part of it was supposed to be at the Pandora's Box, which they remade this building here to look like Pandora's Box. But in reality, it's called Joseph's, where Britney Spears first met Kevin Federline. That just makes it a crime scene right there. Anyway, but the scene was, they made it look like that. And you see, he's sitting here in his car, and I believe, if I remember correctly, the view was looking up that way, and that's the view that you see up there of him when he looks over here, and she's sitting over here and on the bench. They had a bench sitting here. I got some really interesting shots when they were filming that scene. So that's all of this. That's where we are right now. Now again, okay, there's nobody around. Again, so where I am. So you got the Knickerbocker. You've got the Scientology building, stuff like that down there. You've got Joseph's here. This is where they filmed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then you look straight up the street here, and that is the Alto Nido. Now, before you get to the Alto Nido, you got a place up there where Nathaniel West was living when he wrote a script called Day of the Locust, which is an amazing book about what Hollywood is like and Nietzsche up and stuff like that. But above it is the Alto Nido, which is from Sunset Boulevard. I was living a block above Franklin. Things were tough at the moment. I had, it was the whole place where Joe Gillis lives. And that's it right up there. So that's, and again, this is just in one, this is my regular walk in my neighborhood. Not everyone's as lucky to have something like that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but you do have there's plenty of things in your neighborhood. There's plenty of reasons why people visit where you live. Find them, go visit them, be a tourist where you live. That building, by the way, in the background there, that was in, check out a Three Stooges episode, I think called, I want to say it was called Pigskin Follies, something like that. And I think it's very young Lucille Ball was in it. But you see that building in it right there. So coming to you from the middle of, well, hell, all of this. You'll be back. I'll be waiting. I'll take you on a walk. We'll do a tour, and life will be good. That's about what I got.